Okay, let's get it going here on a Tuesday. Longshore and McKnight, so glad you are with us here today. A lot to discuss, a lot to go over. A new leader in the clubhouse, Bill from Baltimore, is our first chat on the River Region Straw chat line today.
Yeah.
Is Ty okay? Is everything okay? Wait a minute.
Ty says, I think they YouTube took my comment off, or maybe I just didn't hit the send button.
Okay.
Which happens to the best of us.
All right. Okay.
Which happens to the best of us. Sometimes it just turns out that way. So we have a new leader in the clubhouse, Bill from Baltimore, way up nice. Jeff, of course, Plainsman Preston and Ty. My buddy Dudley Lucky is in. Always good to talk with him. So what have we got today? College basketball, another Big 12 Monday night. Houston, who is all that.
Yeah, well,
they have lost their third in a row.
It started at Iowa State last week, but we don't need to bring that up.
Yeah, but we do need to bring up, possibly later in the program, what North Carolina was able to do yesterday.
Check the score. Yeah. I need to do that.
That might be worth a look. North Carolina took care of business. So, there is college basketball always this time of the year, late February, getting into March Madness.
Yeah.
Can we say that? I think we can.
Yeah.
Getting into the craziness that is March. College basketball seasons are winding down. This is the last week of the regular season in the Sun Belt. And Troy has 2 home games. If they win them both and they win the conference championship for the second straight year and head into the tournament, they've got Louisiana tonight, the Ragin' Cajuns at Trojan Arena at 6 o'clock, and then La Mo on Friday at 6 o'clock. Should be double-digit.
Doubleheader with Louisiana schools, huh?
Yep. Should be double-digit favorites in both of those games.
Well, they are tonight, 12.5. The Trojans a big favorite tonight. On the home floor against La. So that should be a nice game, nice win.
So, but the SEC, and then next week, the Sun Belt tournament down in Pensacola. The SEC has 2 more weeks to go.
Yeah.
And there's some bubble teams. We mentioned it yesterday that Auburn, who absolutely needed it, had to have it win on Saturday over Kentucky. Auburn is in right now, according to Jerry Palm's bracketology, which is almost always right. There is a 9 seed where they would play against Wisconsin. Is there some sort of an NCAA bylaw that Auburn has to play Wisconsin in every sport in the postseason? If it's not a bowl game, it's in this. Alabama is comfortably in as a 4 seed where they would play in the little pod with Vanderbilt, Yale, and Liberty.
Yale. That team rings a bell.
Yale.
Huh? Wow.
They beat the Aubs one year.
Yeah.
They're also one of the fine institutions of higher learning in the country. But
I knew it was something like that.
So Alabama projected, and it's not going to happen this way. Vanderbilt, Yale, and Liberty. Alabama would be the only public school in that little deal, but Alabama would come in as
what is a little pod?
They play in the East region. It's the Duke. The winner of that little deal between Alabama, Vanderbilt, Yale, and Liberty, I don't have the locations yet, would play the winner of the Duke, Iowa, Clemson, and the first 4 game winner.
Wow. Okay.
And then, then they go to the regional and all that kind of stuff. It's
I do see that if they are a 4 seed, as you just mentioned, that would be based on the roster that they have when the committee puts everybody in a bracket. That's Sunday before they release them. That's what they base it on, the roster at that moment. I don't know. I guess obviously wins and losses have a lot to do with it, and quad 1 wins and things of that nature. But the reason I bring this up is because Charles Bediako is back in the news again, appealing the decision that he received about a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Trying to, resume his playing career in college. we'll see how that goes. I don't know how fast the Supreme Court works. I missed that in pre-law, Barry. I think I was sick that day. So
It does not.
which the Supreme Court works was the day that I missed. But once again, when I heard that, I went, really? Well, we're going back down this road once again. The university released a statement. It was very short and vague.
Yes.
Something to the extent of, we certainly support Charles in his endeavor to continue his college education. Didn't say anything about athletics.
And by university, John means the University of Alabama, specifically.
I mean, where he was last played college ball.
The
Yeah, sure.
Tuscaloosa campus.
Yeah.
But if, I don't hold that much hope. To be perfectly transparent, if I'm Nate Oates, I'm saying, Charles, man, I tell you what, go to class. You can work out with us. Get your degree. We'll help you any way we can. But I mean, we're playing a lot better without you than we did when you were with us, to be honest with you. So
I've heard people make that statement. I'm not a stat guy, Barry. I've never been a stat guy. But, the presence on the floor and, what he might be doing in a practice situation. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
And then, when Alabama gets into the tournament, which it looks like they're going to be as a 4 seed, as you just mentioned,
make it.
They're going to need somebody big in the middle. And, they're a little weak in that department, I would say. There's just not a lot there. So maybe that's what Nate's there again. I'm not speaking for Nate. I'm just throwing out some scenarios of why they might be interested in this. And Oates might be saying, Charles, we went down this road once before. You do what you want to. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to play if you win this appeal. I would think if he does win it, he probably will play. That's there again, just my opinion. Not that I want him to, because as I said a month or so ago, personally, I really don't love this, but I'm not sitting up at night staring at the ceiling talking to myself about it either.
The timing is awful, though. I mean, you've got Alabama plays tomorrow at home against Mississippi State.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to be able to some sort of a temporary restraining order to get him to play tomorrow. And if he doesn't play tomorrow, you got 3 games left. Then you got the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
If this works for him, then what's to keep Kansas from cherry picking, from going down the aisle and saying, all right, we want you, man. We really need a shooting guard, or Houston to say, golly, we've got to have a power forward. We'll pick you. And,
I agree. And I thought that a month ago when all this surfaced. If Charles Bediako, they rule in his favor, you're going to have schools all over the country doing this. And I think that's exactly what would happen. You'd have schools that were criticizing it now jumping on board and grabbing players of need. But I don't really think they're again in, who knows? I don't really think it's about the SEC regular season. I think if Bediako does win the appeal, it's all about the tournament. We got to have somebody big. If we're playing these Big Ten teams, we ain't got a prayer. That's just me. But there again, I wish it would just move on.
Yeah,
Charles has been great, but let's just move on, because personally, I don't really like it. And I've talked about this before. I mean, I think there's certainly some NCAA issues and some chinks in the armor that they've got to get straightened out for first and foremost.
Well,
but when I heard that yesterday, I'm thinking, we going down this road again?
And this has got to stop. I thought it reached a resolution, and I thought it was beneficial to Alabama. They haven't lost since then. Our buddy Bob from Pike Road says, would you expect Bediako not to appeal? FYI, the appeal will take entirely too long. I suspected that, Bob. He says the appeal will take entirely too long. This is irrelevant to anything for Bama. And with that in mind, John, I wanted to bring this up. I want to bring this up.
Yeah,
this is about that time to bring it up. They began Sunday. People started coming into Indianapolis to Lucas Oil Stadium for the NFL Draft Combine.
Oh,
is that at all relevant to the University of Alabama? I mean, Auburn's got a guy. They've got Keldrick Falk that may end up. There's a bunch of participants.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza, Miami rush edge Ruben Bain, who's terrific. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. Nothing. I mean, yesterday was the coach and general manager, media availabilities, players arrived today. Today, it's more coach and general managers get to talk in front of the media. Tomorrow, there's media interviews scheduled with defensive linemen, linebackers, and kickers tomorrow.
No.
Then Thursday is the day that gives John the creeps. The defensive line, linebacker, and kicker measurements, where they get out there in their boxer briefs and,
Speedos. What are you talking about?
On the field
disgusting.
workouts, 40-yard dashes. Quarterbacks show up Friday along with running backs. Saturday is the quarterback, running back, wide receivers. Do we even need to bring that up? I mean, I was wondering about that. Does anybody...
My first response to that would be, where is the draft this year? What city is it taking place in?
It's in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil.
No, that's a combine.
The draft. The draft.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Do we know? Because I think they're moving it around from.
Yes, they are.
Wasn't
it Green Bay or something? Yes.
Yeah, it does ring a bell. I think I did hear Green Bay.
It'll be in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
April 23rd through the 25th, which is 2 months away.
Yeah.
At Acrisure Stadium and at Point State Park. They're having the draft at the state park.
I guess you got to move it around a little bit. I was amazed when it was in Nashville, and Broadway was just packed with people, and they really showed out for that.
It was a party.
I'm not a draft guy. I mean, I get it. I mean, the NFL is looking for programming, and they're looking for a showcase, and they hype it up, and Goodell's, dapping all these players and whatnot when they come on stage. Half of them won't be in the league 3 years from now, but I'm just not, just tell me who went where the next day. I just think it's too much hype in Hollywood. I don't really, that doesn't float my boat.
So, in and of itself, but I mean, Auburn, Keldrick Falk will get drafted. Alabama, I suppose, Caden Proctor will be a big draft pick.
Wasn't there some talk about Alabama in jeopardy of not having a first-round draft pick for the first time in forever?
There is that talk. I wonder if that is legitimate or not.
Yeah. Guess we'll see. If that happens, Barry, that will be, no wonder we got blown out by 35 against Indiana. Don't have a first-round draft pick like we used to. That's what you'll hear from the Bama Nation.
5-star this, blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
that. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Jeremy Bernard is at the Combine.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, the 1 year at Alabama. Josh Cuevas, who John and I both really liked. When he got hurt, that was rough on them.
Offensively, no doubt.
Let's see. Parker Brailsford will be there. I'm looking for Auburn players too. Keldrick Falk. Connor Liu, the Auburn center, will be there at the Combine. There you go. So, that kind of a thing.
Tell me who the Saints draft, and then I'm, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are the Saints? The Saints have the no, that was a lot.
Well, we won a couple of games toward the end there, Bear. That
screwed things up.
Yeah,
I know how you're feeling.
It kind of, we were up there getting one of the top 3 or 4 picks there for a minute. Then
Tyler Shuck got hot.
Yeah, then he got hot, and but I think we're going to be. We've got our quarterback. I will say that. So we don't need to be looking for a quarterback. We just got to get some more pieces around him.
I mean,
I think we got our quarterback. Yeah. Who's coming out? What quarterbacks are coming out this year?
You've got Mendoza. You've got Mendoza. You've got
Yeah. Dudley says we need wide receivers and running backs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dudley. I kind of sense that too. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Those guys are getting kind of long in the tooth there. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. So is it a thing? Will you watch? Is anybody?
No. And I know that in our River Region Straw chat line, there's a lot of people that are interested in it. Will watch it. I mean, I get it. I told the story when I was in high school and ESPN first put the draft on. It was during the weekday in the afternoon. And I remember some buddies and I left school a little early, I'd say, so we could see what this draft thing was about. And it was like in a conference room at the Sheraton in New York, a little small banquet room. And everybody had a little phone on the table with their helmet.
All right.
Sit there and go, this is pretty cool. But I kind of lost.
How do I get a helmet phone like that? And nowadays kids are like, what is a phone?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying, Tyler Shuck is the future at quarterback for the Saints.
Yeah.
So you're saying Saints have the 9th pick, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there, you got nothing better to do. You're sitting there watching it, and it comes up to, the 8th pick, and Saints are coming up next, and you've still got 2 names without Mendoza. Mendoza won't last.
Yeah.
You got 2 names.
Okay.
That are still hanging around. Does this change your mind? Do you say Ty Simpson and the Saints, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU guy, neither one of those?
Neither one. Not interested. I'm not even interested in the Indiana quarterback. He had a lot of good pieces around him. You put him on a crappy team like Cleveland, won't hear from him again. Look, Alvin Kamara is not getting any younger. Got to have a running back. I mean, they've run that guy to death. So we got to have a little relief for Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas isn't there anymore. He hadn't been there.
All right, one more question then, and we're off the draft because I don't think it's newsworthy. Will Diego Pavia get drafted? I say no. I see Diego Pavia as being an Eric Crouch kind of player. And Crouch won the Heisman for Nebraska.
I mean, he's no Baker Mayfield. Now, he kind of looks like him. Same height. Runs around like a water bug, like Baker Mayfield. But no, I don't see him. I don't see that happening. But I'm not a big I don't know. Maybe as we get closer, I'll be a little bit more interested in it. But John's like, what I am interested in, Barry, when we return.
Right.
I'll just leave you with this question. Was Troy not available?
That's the other bit of news. Coming up.
Yeah.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's our Tuesday show of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, that's this weekend, folks. The big BMW 25K giveaway. The more you visit Victoryland, the better your chances of winning. Going to be some big winners this weekend, so head out there to Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama. In about 10 minutes, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. We'll hop on. I always enjoy talking to Brian here on the program on a Tuesday. So Barry sent me a little snippet yesterday afternoon, and I kind of looked at it, and I went, yeah, well, I know where I won't be in week 1 of 2028.
It will be the date to remember. It would open the 2028 season, which would be the second year for a head coach. No, I'm just kidding. September 22nd, 2028. Alabama will open up the season at Bryant-Denny Stadium against the Georgia State Panthers.
You're going to have to tell me all about that one, because I've already made plans to be somewhere else on September the 2nd.
Well, to be fair, even if you hadn't, you would make plans to be somewhere else anyway.
True. Yeah.
Now, Georgia State, I've seen them a jillion times. Dell McGee's their head coach. The Panthers. Their home stadium is the former Turner Field and former Olympic Stadium. Been there a million times. That was announced yesterday. Alabama, they had a little graphic that I sent to John with a Georgia State helmet, which is not great marketing because people are looking at it saying, who the heck is that?
Yeah.
And they had Georgia State in little font after that. Alabama hosts Georgia State at Bryant-Denny Stadium, September 22nd, 2028. You guys are like, oh, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
As opposed to UT Martin or something like that? Well, here's the deal. What do you think? That, and there's been no other announcement, that announcement means that as of right at this moment, Alabama has 4 non-conference games in 2028. Georgia State, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, and UT Martin.
Well, I can answer that question for you easily.
Is going to go.
Yeah, I can answer that one for you easily. And it's interesting, Barry, because they're all scheduled to be played 4 weeks in a row, which has never happened in my mind. I don't ever remember Alabama playing 4 non-conference games in a row to start the season.
That'll space out when they announce the schedule. When
that'll definitely. Well, one of the sites I'm looking at actually has the dates of when these games are going to be played. No way that's going to happen. And
no.
As I've mentioned before, see you, Oklahoma State. Greggy, you might as well go ahead and call up Stillwater today and get that one off the books. Now, if you're asking me, I'd get UT Martin and Georgia State off the books, but I can't have it all. But
they ain't going to take Georgia State off the books the day after they put them on the books.
I don't know why they even put them on there.
I'm going to address the big Tuska, the big elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
Are they getting rid of Ohio State?
Well, as far as I know, you've got to play a power or group of 4, power 4, whatever you call them, non-conference game. If you remember the SEC, that is still in play.
Yeah.
They're going to keep Georgia State and UT Martin. They're going to keep Ohio State. They're going to keep Notre Dame in 29 and 30. But Oklahoma State, there's no reason to play them. Well, actually, there's no reason to play Georgia State or UT Martin either, but there's no reason to play Oklahoma State. Does nothing for you. Nothing at all. Oklahoma State's one of those teams you could lose, but if you beat them, so what? You should have beat them anyway.
Remember,
and if you lose to Ohio State or a Notre Dame and you don't get beat by 17 or 21 or 35, more times than not, it's not going to hurt you either because it's going to be a strength of schedule type of thing that's going to give you some brownie points. So I certainly expect Ohio State to remain on the schedule, Notre Dame on the schedule. There's a few down the road that I'm a little, curious about. But Oklahoma State, see ya.
Here's
how they might position it. Okay, let's just say the AD at Oklahoma State is Joe Smith. Joe, here's the deal, buddy. We got in a little pinch here we've overscheduled some non-cons, and we're supposed to come out your way in 28. We're going to have to get out of that one. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to let you come to Tuscaloosa the next year. Yeah, we're not going to Stillwater, but we'll let you come to Tuscaloosa because we need another non-con in 29. It's either that or nothing. Well, we'll pay you a couple of million. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. Yeah, okay. You're in? Good. See ya.
Do you remember when John and I had that earnest, heartfelt discussion about a big boy conference? John talked about it a little bit yesterday, breaking away and all that kind of stuff. And, he loves it and all, nice. But the big fly in the ointment, the big logical barrier is I know that in John's mind, he may position it differently because he's quite the salesman. He may position it to where I just think it should be the best of the best.
Yeah.
He don't think it. He to him, the big boy conference, Alabama has their choice of playing maybe 8 schools, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State ain't one of them. This is proof positive. Oklahoma State is a proud dues-paying member of Division 1A football. They are in a Power 4 conference, and they have been for decades and decades, just like Ohio State. But when it comes to actually playing them, John's like, well, no, I meant a big boy conference. But, just some of those kind of like he feels now about the group of 5 anyway. Yeah. I know they're Division 1A, but, whenever they get to a big boy conference, John's going to feel the same way about the Oklahoma States and the Northwesterns and the Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake.
And the Baylors and all that stuff. So don't get it wrong. I just want to see, can I just imagine for a moment what the response would be nationwide and with my co-host if it turns out to be Ohio State?
I will be disappointed. I'll say that. Because as a consumer of college football, those are the games I want to see. I don't want to see Alabama play UT Martin. I don't want to see him play Georgia State. Those are worthless to me. I do want to see him play Ohio State. I do want to see him play. I want to see Auburn play Notre Dame in a couple of years. I want to see Auburn play Miami in a couple of years. I don't want to see him play in Mercer. But there again, under the scheduling format that we are currently under, everybody else is playing 2 cupcakes. So I guess you got to put 2 on your schedule as well, which to me is a wasted weekend. And you can only play 3 of them. So Oklahoma State, you're odd man out. Now, in the years after that, Georgia Tech, Boston College, Arizona, Minnesota, okay, they're kind of lukewarm. I'll take them over a Georgia State or a UT Martin any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But I also, if you're going to schedule those type games, you still got to put a Southern Cal and a Notre Dame and Ohio State and a Penn State. You got to put some of those on there too.
Minnesota or Kansas State.
No.
It's still going to be a vast chasm between the teams that John says, sure, they can be in a big boy conference, and the teams that John says, okay, these are the ones we really
you got an elite group of about 8 to 10. And then you got all these others, the Minnesotas, the Arizona, the Georgia. Why are they playing Georgia Tech? But, it's better than UT Martin.
What's wrong with Georgia Tech?
Georgia State. But don't substitute those games for Ohio State, Notre Dame, Southern Cal, those type games. I know you can't play those type teams every year, just not enough of them to go around, but don't completely eliminate them. If you want to stay relevant and at the top of the list, into that upper crust, you got to play those type teams. And those teams know it too. They want to play Alabama. They want that recognition.
In 2031, John and I will be rocking and rolling on this show. Brian Matthews will still be wearing that same cap.
Yeah.
And in 2031, the Auburn Tigers will take on the Troy Trojans on September the 6th.
Well, I'm still waiting.
John said, before we get started, John said, after we come back from break, where was Troy?
Where was Troy?
Why not Troy instead of Georgia State? I mean,
well, that was just Barry. That was the teaser. That was the lure. Because come on, really.
I am not. Unlike John, I am not ruling out Ohio State being the one that Alabama pitches to the side so they can get that Georgia State.
Well, why would they do that? That would be my first question. I would ask Greg, why in the world would you get rid of that series?
Get a W out of it. You may get a W out of the Ohio State game. I get that, but you got to base it. Georgia State's awful. They're awful.
Don't give me this. Well, we might lose it. I don't like that mentality. We can't play Ohio State. Might lose it. Well, you might win too. I just hate that mind. There again, I don't know why you would do that. Oklahoma State, I definitely see why you'd get rid of them. There's nothing for you. I mean, that's got ESPN2 written all over it. Playing in Stillwater, come on.
What's wrong with Stillwater?
You go to Columbus, Ohio. That's got Big Noon Kickoff written all over it.
On the banks of the Olentangy. Yeah.
Come on. But Barry, I see where you work in Boston College there. I mean, I don't want to go off on that tangent again. If they want to throw Rice in there, I'm good with them too.
Can we keep him on one tangent per segment for John? Let's not get off on another one because Brian Matthews.
The thing about Troy, real quick, as we wrap up, they ain't playing Troy. I mean, I hate to say it over and over and over again, but they just, look, I love Troy. Don't get me wrong.
Georgia State, though?
But Alabama ain't playing Troy. Not going to happen. Not playing UAB, not playing Jackson State, not going to play South Alabama.
Jacksonville State,
sorry. I just, and I get it. Well, then why do they play Georgia State? Look, I can't answer that question. I'm with you. I don't know why you'd play them either. I guess you got to fill a slot. But I've already made plans. I will not be in Tuscaloosa on September what day is that again?
September the 2nd.
Out. Done.
2028.
I'm not supporting that. No way. Not going to happen.
We'll be back and talk with Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, when we return. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Man, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust. Okay, we're back 26 minutes to the top of the hour. Our man Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, coming on with us as he does each and every Tuesday. Hope you're doing well, Brian. How's it going?
I'm doing great, and I can't wait to see Alabama play South Alabama, Troy, and UAH in one season.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
When that happens, Brian, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm closing the laptop. I'm done.
You know, when you when you look at it all in its entirety, right now, Auburn men's basketball with almost an entirely remade team, they get a win over Kentucky. You know, it's still, not a great track that they're on. What do you think the job Stephen Pearl has done with this team and under these circumstances, Brian?
Actually, I think it's pretty solid what he's done. I don't think he should necessarily be judged on this team. I think it's tough to bring in 10 newcomers with one returning guy and then have that returning guy, have an inconsistent second season, which Tahad has. I think that's fair to say. He has played better of late, shooting better, certainly getting more assists, being more of a playmaker, but it's definitely been a journey for him. And I also don't think Stephen Pearl has enough of the players he wants on that team. I think he wants a much better defensive team, wants a guy in the middle that can protect the rim, wants guys on the perimeter have length who can really defend. I don't think he has a lot of those players on the team right now. So I think that it's a solid team. I just, I don't think it's a special team here at Auburn, but certainly a team that if they can win a couple more games, they could probably secure their spot in the tournament.
Brian, I was talking about this team yesterday, and one thing that hit me that I think a lot of people have overlooked, because it's been a while, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, how many teams have gone into Gainesville and won by 9 points? To me, that is huge for this team. As Florida continues to win and plays better, that's going to be a big plus for this Auburn team when it comes to that committee, when they go, wow, not a lot of teams went to Gainesville and won. Auburn did.
That's right. They got 5 quad one wins, I think. St. John's, NC State were really good wins in the non-conference. Florida, Arkansas, really good wins. And now Kentucky, as long as they can stay in that quad one area, really big for Auburn. So they have big wins. They don't have any quad 3 or 4 losses. So they don't have any really bad losses. I thought the Mississippi State game away was probably a bad loss the way I see it, but still not technically one, at least statistically. So I think those are all good things. And I think the committee will look favorably upon their schedule. It's going to be ranked 1, 2, or 3 in the country, probably 1 or 2. I think that's also a positive. So as long as they don't flop here, it would be great if they could win for their chances to win at Oklahoma. That would be another quad one win. And I think that would probably help secure things as long as they don't fall apart against, Ole Miss and LSU at home down the stretch.
John and I have both been in broadcasting for a long, long time, a generation, and we understand about the concept of a hot mic. Mark Pope had that happen to him after the I don't know that it was inadvertent, where he says, if they're going to find me, screw them. I didn't say a word about those bleepity bleepers cheating us all game long or something like that. To what possibly was he referring, Brian?
Well, I mean, it was so loud that everybody heard as the door was closing as he was walking the hall. So, I mean, I think for that reason alone, he wanted everybody to know his real feelings about that game and the finish of it, I guess, and the foul call that Kevin Overton was able to get there, which so sorry. It's not like Auburn hasn't had things not go their way so far this season. That's the breaks.
If Auburn doesn't make those buckets and take the lead and Kentucky walks off with a win, is he still complaining about the officiating?
No, of course not.
It's interesting. One little series, one little segment of the game, and that got him going crazy. And it could have flipped on a dime. But it is. It's amazing how coaches show their emotions and don't think about the totality of the game.
But I thought it's funny. I don't know if the SEC is going to do anything to him or has done anything. I haven't seen that yet, but that would be hilarious if they actually did for that moment. But he was very emotional after that game. You could tell he was not happy.
Well, just that 1 second, that a little putback with 1 second to go, not only gets them a win, but heck, it may light that candle. Like you said, that's a big win, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was. They needed that. It broke a 5-game losing streak. You know, it maybe gave them some momentum going down the stretch. We'll see. They've got a quick turnaround in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has got some really nice wins. I know the overall record isn't good, but they're a very good offensive team. And if Auburn, doesn't play well defensively, they could, score 80 or 90 points and win. So it's going to be interesting to see how Auburn handles this. Right? It was a nice win. But can they handle a quick turnover and going and playing a team that has some players that Auburn has struggled against in games? They've struggled to defend a team's best player. They just struggled to defend the 3-pointer, and that's some things that Oklahoma does quite well.
Yeah, of course, short week. You throw that in there as well. They always talk about playing on the road. We saw you mentioned Mississippi State, playing on the road in this league. For some reason in basketball, it can be very difficult.
It can. And that win at Florida was by far Auburn's best road win.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything can pass it unless they can knock off Bama here at the end. But I do think this is a real challenge for this team. I think it'll show a lot of maturity if they can show up and play a really good game in Oklahoma. We'll see. I think one of the things with this team has lacked maybe some leadership from the player perspective, right? I think that's why they've been so up and down and not not as consistent as they need to be, especially doing the things that they could do to win the game. But we'll see. I think one thing about that game is, when Auburn's not playing well, they usually get off to bad starts. So I think we'll know within the first 7-8 minutes, what to expect from this team.
Brian, why is Elijah Freeman now such an important piece? I mean, he was a difference maker against the Wildcats, right?
He was, and if you had to pick the guy with the most upside on that roster right now, the most NBA potential. Not saying he's going to play in the NBA, but he's got it. He's so athletic, so quick, can jump out of the gym. When he plays aggressive and just gets after it and doesn't think so much, he can be a real difference maker. And Auburn has to have that off the bench because the stars are playing such high minutes right now. It really helps them if they can get a guy they can depend on off the bench. So he is very, very important. And, you hope for him that maybe a switch is flipped now and he's going to start playing like that and maybe take a step forward. This would be a great time for that to happen.
All right, we're getting into spring football. I know we got basketball, I know we got baseball, but certainly everybody has an eye on what will be taking place this spring. What are you hearing, Brian? Has there been any chatter, anything that you're excited about or you're looking forward to being able to see during the spring football?
Well, I've never seen a spring football with, close to 90 players on scholarship or whatever you call scholarship now, right? So that's going to be it's going to be sort of like a fall camp, much more competition, full scrimmages. You don't have to, put a bunch of walk-ons in there, or you don't have to, do something silly on a day of the scoring system. They can actually get after it for 15 practices. So that's what I'm kind of expecting in a way, although, they're not going to be dumb about it and risk a bunch of injuries. And I'm very interested to see what the offense looks like with, I think it's 11 transfers from USF on offense, and how that kind of transfers over to some, ability to jump right in there and look pretty good starting out. Although, other than Cole Best, they're probably going to have 4 new starters on the offensive line. And Cole Best for Auburn's a new starter, but he was a starting center at USF.
Really big showing. How surprised were you with how well Auburn baseball played in that tournament?
A little surprised just because they were coming off an 8-0 shutout loss to Cincinnati at home, where I thought they played really poorly. And they went out there and beat Kansas State and the 2 ranked teams in Florida State. And Louisville looked really good. The pitching has been outstanding. They got a team ERA under 3, and that's against some quality opponents so far. Have a ton of strikeouts. I think it's the most strikeouts through 7 games since 1997, I believe is the stat. Really, really impressive there with that staff. And the hitting, which I thought was going to be the team's strength, is starting to come around now a little bit. Not quite there yet, but you can see it's starting to swing the bats a lot better than they were the first 4 games.
Now, one final question here about Auburn athletics. When you look ahead towards towards spring, with so many new players, with so many new things to get worked on during spring practice, is there a room, is there a department, is there a position that you feel best about, that you feel most confident about as you look at it right now?
I would say linebacker is an outstanding position at Auburn. They got Xavier Atkins back, a first-team All-SEC player. They got Riddick back from an injury. Bryce Diaz is a really, really good player. Elijah Melendez was really good as a freshman, and you can fully expect him to take a big step forward as a sophomore. He's just a terrific talent. So they've got starting depth. They got young depth. They've got some good players coming in. I think that is a really, really good team. And then you have to say that, maybe not, you don't know a lot about the backups, but Byron Brown at quarterback is one of the biggest upgrades Auburn's had in quite a while. They needed it badly, right? They just really needed a quarterback. And I know he's still got, to play in the SEC, right? So these guys stuff to prove still, but at least they've got a guy that's, hey, you threw for over 3,000 yards and ran for over 1,000 yards at an FBS school, and playing some pretty good teams, on their schedule last year. So I think that means a lot for this program.
Brian, do you sense a different feel in covering this football program than you did under Hugh Freeze or obviously Brian Harsin, or maybe the latter part of the Malzahn? Is there anything different about Alex Golesh and this staff and this roster and just the vibe? I mean, granted, I know they hadn't been out there for spring practice, hadn't played a game yet, but just the buzz, is it different with you talk to and fans that you're with?
It is definitely different. You feel like Golesh is a guy that's in charge of the program, 100%, right? He's got that kind of mentality, that type of aura around him. You just feel like you got a guy that is going to coach the team up, is right now working really hard with recruiting and making those type of connections. Harsin had trouble recruiting. I don't think Golesh is going to have that problem. Hugh Freeze had a real problem with running, his offense and doing all the little things, that it takes to have a really good football team. And I don't sense that problem with Golesh. I just sense a lot of quiet confidence over, with that group. So we'll see. It is early.
What has been the reaction to, and it might have been taken out of context, but certainly on the surface, when I saw it, I went, whoa, now there's a breath of fresh air. In his comment about boosters, and like, hey, it's not like we don't need you, but I don't need you calling me up 3 times a week, and I don't need you invite me to your lake place, your hunting camp, whatever it may be. It came across to me like, let me coach football and you go do what you do.
Yeah. But on top of that, he's also said that he has made it a point to go ahead and get to know these guys a little bit more too. So I think in that way, he can sit down with them face to face and let them know, hey, we need your support and help, but we also need it with these things applied to it, not poking into the program, right? Allow me to do my job and help me do my job by providing the money and the resources we need to build a good roster. So I think he is working at having a relationship with the people he needs to have a relationship with, but also setting some boundaries, which is what you want from the head guy.
Sure. Well, so I shouldn't expect to see Jimmy Rain on the sideline like I did when Tuberville was there.
I don't think so, but you never know. There are a lot of people on sidelines. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Auburn and a lot of schools are having these special areas where you can be on the field during games. And I walk out there in the fourth quarter as we can, and I've got to sort of weed my way through a lot of people that have been having a good time for the last 3 hours. If you know what I mean.
Good time.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different than it was back in the football era too.
Brian, they're working at auburnsports.com for you. Again, a combination of on three and rivals. Talk about a dream team. We all have our favorites. I'm a Brian Matthews guy. So is John.
So is John. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
ain't no doubt
you
about
got
it.
Caleb. You got Jeffrey. John's a JG Tate guy too. You
Yeah.
got
Known that guy
Justin.
for a long time.
Yeah,
Yep.
Cole
Yep.
Pinkston. All you guys working to really crank out content. How do people get involved and subscribe?
We really do. We do put out a ton of content, whether it's
Ton.
recruiting, whether it's like team analysis. Cole does a great job breaking down film and players and recruits. If you're into that stuff, you will love his content he provides. And this week, with spring practice coming up, we'll have plenty of football content, tons of baseball content. I'll be at the game tomorrow night. Tons of basketball content. Of course, tonight's game against Oklahoma and everything else you need Auburn sports related at auburnsports.com. You can follow me on Twitter and X. Twitter/X at BMATAU.
Excellent as always, Brian. We appreciate you.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
Appreciate you guys.
You too, buddy. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Hopping on as he does each and every Tuesday. Greatly appreciate his time and his insight and all the knowledge about Auburn athletics. Dennis Mitchell, earlier today, Barry, this must have been about Troy.
Yes.
All I got was,
Yes.
come on, John.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Dennis is a big Troy Trojan.
He
fan.
is. Then he hit me with it. Can you help me with this one, Barry?
I'm an Alabama taxpayer.
Oh,
he wants the money to stay in Alabama. It ain't got to go to Georgia. It ain't got to go all that. Couple of other things since we've opened up the Dennis Mitchell thing. Dennis also says that no, this is Chris the Bammer. He says the Aubs will beat Choklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Plainsman Preston.
Yep.
He says JG needs to come back on this.
He's got an open invitation, Barry. Always has.
I see him, every once in a while, I'll see him at a Troy event. Love JG Tate.
Yeah.
Love him.
He has an open invitation, Theotis.
Yeah.
Anytime he'd like to come on. We have a long history with JG. Always like.
And he says, "Do you know how much former players are contributing to NIL?" Love B. Matt. Love JG Tate. I don't know that, to be honest, I don't know that stuff is public record.
Yeah, I don't either.
I honestly don't. Now, the revenue share money, the money that the school directly pays the players, that is public record because those are university expenditures. But NIL, I don't know that you can. I know the Sunshine Law. I don't know that you can request those records and have those. I'm not.
Well, it's interesting, Barry, that you mentioned NIL because I wanted to feature a product today that someone sent me yesterday that I'm very excited about, and we're going to have these people on the program and going to be doing some marketing for them as well. I have heard about this, but I'd never seen it, nor have I ever tasted it, and it is wine, and it is called Crimson Dynasty. And you can see one of the bottles of wine right here. And they were
That's
sent
Denny
to me.
Chimes.
Yeah, it is Denny's Chimes. And I got a gift box. There are 3 bottles. There's a Cabernet Sauvignon. There is a Chardonnay. And there's a Pinot Noir that was sent. 3 bottles that were sent to me yesterday as a gift from a really very good friend of mine. And he was telling me about it. And you can check it out at crimsondynastywine.com. That's crimsondynastywines.com. You need to check it out. But it's a company that is partnered with various parts of the University of Alabama, and they get the royalties for NIL and things of that nature. So every bottle of wine that you buy, the box sets, things of that nature, some of the royalties go to. It's a Pinot Noir, which I'm a big, that's a Cabernet. I'm a big Pinot Noir fan. I like that. And that's a bottle of that that you can check out. But so check it out at crimsondynastywines.com for more information. You can order through that website as well. I've not opened one up, but I plan on doing it tonight.
Yes. And it won't be in celebration of
My
it won't
UPS
be.
guy was knocking on my door like at 9 o'clock with this last night. I went, wow, a little late, but
So the Cabernet will be the first one to pop the cork on the Cabernet?
We're going to go with probably the Pinot Noir. Depends on
Okay.
what Mom's cooking for dinner tonight. You
Yeah, to match it up. It certainly won't be in celebration of Alabama signing the deal with Georgia State. There will not be celebration of that.
It will not be.
Of course, coming up in just a little bit, we'll visit with our buddy Travis Ryer from Ryer on YouTube. Here as we roll on, closing out our first live hour of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, Barry, it took less than 15 seconds for me to get a text on the River Region Straw VIP text line. Hey, is there an Auburn version of that wine? Yeah, no, it's not Boone's Farm. It's not Mad Dog 2020. Whatever else, no. If there is, I don't know about it. Maybe there is a Auburn version of this wine. If it is, we'll promote it for you.
Yeah. Ty says Charles Barkley has his own vodka.
He does. Redmond.
Good promotion opportunity with Golesh. I get where Ty's coming. Golesh is Russian. See, correct. And that's vodka, and vodka's Russian.
It's called Redmont vodka. Is Charles is affiliated with that.
I wonder what that all is all about. So you know, it is a wine that that runs deep in the heart of the Crimson tradition, Crimson Dynasty wine. Yeah. Several different ones out there, because not only will we market it and all that kind of stuff, but there probably will be an obligatory jab at the Aubs for not having their own wine. That's a good marketing for the Alabama faithful out there.
I mean, does that even surprise you that it, 15 seconds is about average. Ding, ding. I mean, I had my mic off so you couldn't hear the dings coming, but I knew exactly.
They were,
when they started dinging, I know what this is going to be about.
I'm just telling you, Bama fans, it's a great, big, beautiful world out there. Everything does not always come back to Auburn. Even wine, even high quality wine, and you're saying, do the Aubs have a wine? Come on, this stands on its own. I promise.
Years ago, probably when cell phones like these, Apple phones, not the original cell phones that were in a bag that you plugged into a cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
But Barry would be in Troy, I would be in Montgomery at network control. He'd go, John, how about turning that ringer off?
John would say, John's deal was, I don't want to turn the ringer off because I'll forget to turn it back on again after the show.
Yep.
So we had to be subjected to ding, ding. It sounded like, shooting the little mechanical ducks at the carnival, because John later on, it inconvenienced him after the show.
Yeah, it'd be like 2 in the afternoon. I'd look at my phone and go, nobody's called me today. What's going on?
And you'll look down there and there'll be like 3 voice messages and 15 texts.
I forgot to turn the ringer back on.
So, yeah. So we get into hour number 2. In a moment, we'll be visited by Travis Ryer on YouTube, where, are there things out there to discuss with Travis about, I don't know, Alabama football, for instance?
Oh, sure.
Any of that? Are there? I mean, do we go with the draft? Is there something brewing there? Is it the same old? Who's going to be the starting quarterback, or what do you think Alabama's going to do? We need like this. This came in. And I was at TigerInsider.com.
Oh, wow. What did I miss?
There was something on one of the statewide news outlets, not Yellowhammer News. And it was talking about former NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers. His son Gunner has committed to he's down in Mobile. He's committed to play football at NC State, which is where Phillip played football. I think Phillip's from Anniston or Albertville.
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. He played at NC State and then for years and years and years and years in the NFL. Well, Gunner has committed to his alma mater, NC State, a kid from the state of Alabama. Steven323 posts on TigerInsider.com's message board. Okay. Gunner Rivers officially committed to NC State. I looked at it and I thought, well, that's where his dad played. Yep. Underneath it, Burks types in, "Poor boogers missed again." Poor boogers. What on God's green earth has that got to do with all? I mean, you guys. For talking about little brother and all that, holy smoke.
I don't know how many times I've got to go over this.
We can talk about a commitment to NC State, and all of a sudden, boop, Auburn reference. What?
I don't know how many times I got to bring this up. But until the tables really turn, and you know what I mean by that, is, Auburn's, on the top, and they're kind of fluffing Alabama out of the way, kind of like the Pat Dye era in the 80s. I know a lot of people out there might not remember that since it was 40 years ago. That was a time right after Coach Bryant had passed away and stepped down that Dye came to Auburn, seized the moment, took over, and they were the top. They were the top banana. Until that happens, Bama fan is going to amuse themselves by needling the Aubs. That's a phrase I should have copyrighted.
Needling the Aubs or gigging the Aubs. Yeah. He's used those interchangeably.
And that's that's how they amuse themselves during a slow period. Okay, Bediako's appealing, and the Lady Tide did this.
Your Bama buddies and you have been talking over and over ad nauseum about how Alabama needs to run the football, how the Crimson Tide's offensive line was no good, and how John Hanna needs to walk through that door, and we need better defensive linemen, and DeBoer, boy, this is and it gets, even for Alabama fans, that gets a little tedious after a while. So you're sitting around whittling on the bench in front of the park in your square downtown, and you're
that is true, Barry. You can only talk about the lack of a running game so much.
So, and then all of a sudden you and all the old fogies out there whittling and spitting tobacco, and feeding the pigeons. There's about 10, 15, 20 seconds of silence, and then it's like,
it happened.
Well, at least we're not Auburn,
It happened last night.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that time about the Aubs and this? And then they can go on for about another hour of conversation. At least we're not Auburn.
It happened last night. I was talking to two friends of mine, and they were asking me about Alabama football, which is a common subject. And we were talking, and I brought up the point that, the running game came up, and I brought up the point that, when's the last time Alabama has not had that bell cow go-to dominant running back? They did not have it last year. Will they have it this year? Are they going to rely on a true freshman to be that guy? And, so you go back to Johnny Musso, they always had a dominant running back. One guy you could count on, usually had 3 or 4, but always one. And then after that subject was pretty much discussed out, it immediately went to, what are those Albs doing over there?
Oh, man, yeah. I got this old buddy of mine. I saw him in the post office over there, and you know what he said?
Yeah.
He told, get this, fellas, he told me he thinks Auburn's going to be good this year.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't even have to have much substance to it, Believe me, I know that from some of the content that people have put forth. It doesn't have to be much, Auburn told a couple of defensive linemen, hey, man, you don't need to drink a smoothie just because you're thirsty. How about some water?
Yeah.
Auburn had auxiliary parking for football games in the hayfields.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Bama fans can take that. That's a week's worth to them. Now, there are some legitimate things. Auburn football hasn't been very good lately. Lita Ramsley once gave the double fingers on the stage at graduation right after the university president gave her diploma. She tucked her diploma under her arm and flipped off the crowd. There's some things, but, if it gets boring, if you get tired of complaining about the lack of running game and everything, you can always come
Every
back.
time you bring that up, Barry, the double birds walking,
the double Twiletas.
A friend of mine that I grew up playing junior golf with took that picture. He is responsible for that picture.
See, and even now, Twileta's probably in her late 50s.
He never produced one for me, but I said, hey, can you get me an 8x10 glossy of that?
Heck, a Daniel Moore painting of it. Sell that thing for thousands.
Hey, our man Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide, hopping on with us this Tuesday. As he does, we appreciate it as always. Travis, how's it going today?
Doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing really well. Kind of getting enthused. It's late February, only a couple of more weeks left in the college basketball season. So starting to kind of figure things out. Who's a contender? Who's a pretender? I don't know that Alabama has played better basketball than they have over the last couple of weeks. Travis, agree or disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I think it's just been overshadowed more by the courts instead of on the court.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of been lost in all that with the Charles Bediako situation. And, this was a pretty good team even before the Bediako situation. They were over 500 with Charles. Make no doubt about it. He certainly has value to them. And we'll see if that's something that picks back up, I guess, here in the next few days and weeks. But they're playing good basketball. There's teams around the league right now that, are playing at a high level. I think Alabama's about to see a few of them too.
What do you make of this appeal, Travis? I guess, first of all, what do you make of it? And Alabama's been kind of quiet about it. They sent out a comment yesterday. It was kind of vague and not a lot of detail, more about the academic side. But if he did win it, do you think Nate Oates, wants him back on the team?
You already been through it once, right? So what is really the blowback or the consequences if he is deemed eligible a second time? I would fully expect that to be the case. So we'll see what happens. I'll say this, to Nate's credit, or to that team's credit, that locker room's credit, it hasn't seemed to have been a disruptor. It's not like that team is noticeably anyway suffered from negative consequences of this in and out and this uncertainty as it relates to Charles Bediako. So from a dynamic perspective, I wouldn't think he'd be that worried about it. And if he's eligible, and probably in Nate's way of thinking, all these other pros are still eligible, then he's going to play as pro.
I've heard people make this comment. If you look at his stats, they're not impressive. Why do they need him? There's got to be more to it, like his presence on the floor, maybe what he's doing at practice. I mean, I've heard someone say if they, get into the tournament and face some of these teams with big bodies, he's going to need somebody like Charles Bediako. What do you say to the critics that just don't think it's worth going to all the trouble?
I think tangibly, there's certainly value in having a 7-footer to go along with Aiden Sherrill. I think right now, Aiden Sherrill, it's kind of a shame in all this too, is that he's playing really good basketball.
Yeah, you've been an Aiden Sherrill guy.
He is Alabama's top big, with or without Charles Bediako right now. But the drop-off from Aiden Sherrill to Noah Williamson, that's where it comes into play.
Yeah.
You start getting into the depth. Now, you have a Bediako to sort of bridge that, you're in a much better place. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I do honestly believe there is, some intangibles in this, and not so much just what he brings to the locker room. I think Nate genuinely likes this guy. He's an easy guy to like, apparently. And so, there's going to be that part of it too. But sure, I mean, tangibly, he gives them a different dynamic, especially from a depth perspective.
Speaking as a guy who's easy to like, Travis Reier, he must be an easy guy to like. I like that. Looking ahead towards Wednesday at home against Mississippi State, it's at night. Mississippi State, not much so far this year.
Well, they better guard that guy that lit up Auburn for life.
Yeah, Josh Hubbard.
Yeah, I mean, Hubbard's on a heater. There's no doubt about that. He comes in averaging 22 a game, and that's been on the low end lately. You look at what he did against Auburn with 46, and then before that he had 32 at Ole Miss. Now he was held to 13 in a loss at South Carolina over the weekend. That's obviously something more along the lines that Alabama would like to see happen. But he can go Acuff on you. You talk about Darius Acuff and the performance he had last week. Hubbard can do that. The key with Mississippi State is not allowing other guys to sort of go along with him, if he does it. So very prolific scorer, very fun to watch. But you got to take care of home court against an inferior opponent. That's the bottom line tomorrow night, because you're going to Tennessee on Saturday evening. That has never been easy. It certainly hasn't been easy of late. You're going to try to exercise some demons after your last trip there, especially. And then even the road trip at Georgia, that's a better team this year. And then Auburn at home to round out the regular season. If they go 2-2 over these final four, they'll be a 12-6 team in the league.
Right.
And all things considered, I don't think that would be the worst of scenarios. Now they go 3-1, obviously that's even better, but reasonably, if they go 2-2, that's a pretty good run through SEC play.
Yeah. Now, and Travis mentions he can go Acuff on you. He's not talking, for my Auburn friends, he's not talking about Roy Acuff at the Grand Ole Opry singing Great Speckled Bird. We're talking Darius Acuff. The best player on the team, obviously, is Filan. I don't know that he's not the best player in the league, Travis, or at least the most valuable player. I shudder to think of Alabama without him.
He's really good, and he's been playing through stuff, as we know. I mean, there was questions about whether or not he'd even play at LSU, and he sort of gutted through that. Yeah. I think the guy right now, though, that is semi-carrying him is Holloway, and the way he has played down the stretch. But it is nice to know that Filan can do that for you. And I agree. Having him, if nothing else, even if he's not giving you 20 plus a game on those nights, it frees up Holloway to go get it. You don't put too much on Aiden Holloway. He can just be the scorer, the off the ball guy. You don't put too much on Amari Allen, maybe on the ball. So, you still got guys around Phylon that can give you more than enough offensively when you include Wrightsell in there when he's got it going a little bit. So, they're in good shape at the guard position, and they've kind of had to play through it because pretty much all of those guys have dealt with something this season.
Yeah. Well, Travis Ryer on YouTube, so many different things on there, Talking Tide, No Sleep, Teal. It's been a while, a little bit after we last talked with you. I really like Second Helping, you and Brent Beard, who I think a lot of, counting up wins for the Alabama football team in 2026. Check that out at youtube.com. What is the absolute big must-have win for Kalen DeBoer in 2026?
Oh, I think you typically think SEC play, and going to 9 league games this season, it's going to be tougher than ever. But I think in those first 3 or 4, you got to take care of business. You got to win on the road at Kentucky in week 2. You got to come home and beat Florida State in Tuscaloosa, especially after that performance in Tallahassee. And then Georgia again on the schedule, this time in Tuscaloosa. So schedule sets up pretty well for Alabama. In my early count of wins, I came up with 10. Now, I reserve the right to change that as we move throughout the offseason. I think, though, when it's all said and done, 10 will be my ceiling for that team going into the season. I could drop to 9. We'll see. But I think it's going to vary for who you ask in the Alabama fan base. I mean, there's a lot of people are going to want to go ahead and end that Tennessee win streak in Knoxville at 2. A lot of people are going to want to go to Baton Rouge and take out Lane in his first meeting with the Crimson Tide as the Tigers head coach. And then, there's always the Auburn game. You don't want Alex Golesh getting off to a positive start, especially in a game being played in Tuscaloosa. So I think you could ask different fans for their perspective on that, and you get a lot of different answers.
Travis, Barry and I were doing something. We're going to do it today with Missouri. We are going through every SEC football team. We call it the starting 5, and we're looking at the first 5 games. And of course, we're going in alphabetical order. So we did Alabama a week or so ago. And our consensus was Alabama's got to win the first 5. And they all look winnable because after that, you got Georgia, Texas A&M, Tennessee, LSU. It gets a lot tougher. I think the fan base, Travis, if they lose one of those first 5, there's going to be some rumbling.
It's going to get loud.
Yeah.
It's going to get loud. And especially when you're breaking in a new starting quarterback, essentially a new offensive line, important pieces on offense in general. That is the stretch where you've got to get that figured out, but you also got to win games. I like that they open with a team like East Carolina at home rather than a road game like last year against Florida State, because I didn't like the approach against Florida State. I mean, the mass substitutions that we saw in the first half of the first quarter, it felt like the staff viewed it as a preseason game, and you're playing Florida State on the road.
Yeah.
And I know you like young guys at corner and some of these other guys, freshmen, but when they get torched and you get down on the road, the game still counts, so I think it sets up better for Alabama. If they feel like they want to do that against East Carolina, they should be able to. And then Will Stein at Kentucky. That's going to be an interesting first year for him at the helm. But I agree wholeheartedly with those first 5.
Well, you got odds out, or have you got percentages out yet? Now that Alabama has added Georgia State to the 2028 football schedule, odds out on whether the odd man out, now that they got 4 non-conference games, they can only have 3, is the odd man out Ohio State, Oklahoma State, or Tennessee Martin?
I would be inclined to go Ohio State. I mean, I would hope it's not Ohio State. I want to see that game. But with the 9 conference games, they're not doing this to, beef up the schedule. They're obviously doing it to reduce. And if you've already got a Power 5 or a Power 4 scheduled in Oklahoma State, it seems like you would take care of that. I hope it's not Ohio State, but I mean, there's part of me that would be pretty surprised if it's not the Buckeyes. Now, you know, TV and things like that. Who knows? That's a huge game for those packages. You start dropping those games, even with a ninth game. The networks want it all. I mean, they want that ninth game. They want the championship game, and they want you to play Ohio State and Oklahoma State in the same season. So
yeah, I'm with you there, Travis. I think the television aspect is one that you really got to consider. They would love to have that game, no doubt. I mean, obviously Fox would have the first one because it's in Columbus. So I think that's a factor. And to me, playing a team like Ohio State, and if you don't lose by 21 or 35, how bad is it going to really hurt you? I mean, hey, these guys played Ohio State. They went up there and played them. To me, Oklahoma State's a no-win. You should beat them. And if you do, big deal. But if you lose, watch out.
Yeah, there's obviously a couple ways to look at that, and especially if you're considering an expanded college football playoff field by the time perhaps that game rolls around. Although I don't guess we can assume anything because there was a lot of assumptions about going to 16, I think, this year, and that's not happening. So I think it may be more dependent on what the vibe is a little later down the road in terms of where we're going to be with the playoff too.
And I wonder about your customer base. They're we know them as fans, but they are customers, and I would
absolutely
think the fans would like to see Ohio State run through the tunnel there at Bryant-Denny.
And that's me, the fan part of me, a college football fan. I want to see that too. I mean, it was. Obviously Penn State had been to Tuscaloosa before, but it was pretty cool in 2010. When we saw Penn State in Tuscaloosa, it hits a little bit different when it's one of those brands as compared to, say, Wisconsin. This last season. It's a little, and that's basically what Oklahoma State.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure I'd have the same fuzzy feeling seeing the Cowboys run out on the field as I would the Buckeyes.
It's a little different. It's a little different OSU.
Yeah, but different. A lot different.
Hey, I will say this though, since Barry asked that question, don't be thinking about getting rid of that Notre Dame schedule. I mean, that's crossing the line in my book.
Yeah, you could get struck down if you.
That's right.
Yeah. If you cancel that one.
Yeah.
Travis Ryer on YouTube. So many different things. Talking Tide, No Sleep Teal, Second Helping with Brent Beard. Preview all of that stuff that you do offer and what the plans are for the near future. What's the latest programming going to look like?
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun there on the channel. We're going to have Cart Golf tonight where we'll talk some golf on the channel with our good friend Casey Smith. We'll also have Second Helping coming up here on Thursday, the SEC show that we do on the channel with Brent Beard. I think we'll get a little more specific with the Florida Gators heading into year one under John Sumrall. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And you never know when the chicken salad sandwich review might show up.
We love those.
Par 3 driver guy, I get reports, was out and about over the weekend, so there may be some content coming from him.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't know with him. You get in that 19th hole with him, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I love it. Next. So, Travis, my plan is I'm going to fry some triple tail this weekend.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna take some pictures of it before, during, and after. I'll send them your way.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that sounds great.
Always good. Travis Ryer. You can check him out on social media, on X at Travis Ryer as well. Appreciate you, Trav. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You too, buddy. Talk to you next week. Travis Ryer on YouTube. Barry, of course, that triple tail will be coming from the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Fresh from the Gulf. I'll pick it up from David. It'll be there in the display cases on ice. You can get it as well. 3750 Norman Bridge Road. The freshest seafood arriving daily. I'm telling you, it's amazing. They have everything you would need, from the triple tail to the snapper to the grouper. It's all there for you. Fresh shrimp, oysters. They've got it all. They can cook it up for you. or you can take it home and prepare it yourself. But everything, I'm telling you, their extensive seafood choices, nobody can match them. Go by and see them today, 3750 Norman Bridge Road, the Destin Connection Seafood Market. And don't forget those crawfish are in. They're in season. The spicy boiled crawfish, or you can get the raw crawfish and boil them up yourself. They've got them for you. Go by and see them at the Destin Connection.
I've had to Google. John's been hitting me with the Pinot Noir and the Cabernet and all of this from Crimson Dynasty.
Yeah, there it is.
The triple tail. I'm a fisherman. A triple tail. I had to look it up, and I'm looking at a picture of it. That looks like a good fish. Also
awesome.
Known
very
as
light and delicate, Barry. I love it.
The black grunt, the buoy fish. Evidently, that hangs around buoys.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Theotis says that triple tail will go well with that crap wine. Wait a minute. This is great stuff. Come on, Theotis.
I mean, do you want to get banned?
I mean, come on.
I mean, Theotis, are you tired of being on the chat line and just want to go out in a blaze of glory or something?
You know what, Theotis? I think I'm going to go get my corkscrew and have a glass right now. Just tell you how good it is.
Geez,
hey, Barry, you know what's good?
I mean, what is this? This is an online. Just like he's tired of it all, and I'm gonna. I don't know what you're looking for there.
You know, Barry, you can tell it's great wine because it's got that deep bottom that you can stick your thumb in to pour like that.
Yeah,
that's
why that's not what it's for, though.
That's classy stuff.
It's called the punt. I do know that. Yeah, that's supposed to add stability to the bottle. Hey, when we come back, gotta do this. Got our starting five coming up for the Missouri Wildcats. Kind of looking forward.
No, Tigers. They're the Tigers, aren't they?
What am I saying? What am I saying?
That?
Theotis has got me steamed.
Yeah.
The Missouri Tigers, and one of those is my team in that starting
certainly
five.
Is. Yeah. Wow.
And also, John, we have got to hit on the Phantoms Daily Dog.
Do we? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
it's on the schedule.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. Still plenty of content.
Sure.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The President's Day sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees under 27 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers, 14 grand off. And Gladiators, 16 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. 27 minutes past the hour here. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Check it out there. A lot of great content. News, politics, lifestyle, sports. You can check us out at Yellowhammer News as well. Also, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Tunes, so many other ways to view and listen to what we do here. And so many people do it that way. We greatly appreciate it. The beauty, Barry, is because people can view and listen on their schedule, not so much our schedule. We're live 7 to 9, but you can watch and listen anytime you want to.
It's great when you watch it on replay because you can actually scrub through it and scroll through it like blah, blah, blah. Barry's talking again. Oh, here's John again. And there's Barry, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward. Oh, there's John again. You can do all of that. So if you want to, you can even go back to yesterday's program.
Yeah.
And you can go over the Phantoms Daily Dog. John, have you or do you know of anybody who has, where it's legal, of course,
Sure,
placed a wager on a game or were about to and thought, man, I want to, but man, this line makes no sense. I am so, I really think, man, somebody has screwed up. Maybe they wrote it down wrong or something like that, but this line doesn't make any sense. Maybe they know something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I better not do that because I'm probably going to screw this up because I don't get this line. Have you ever seen somebody that did that and then afterwards it ends up, it would have paid off for it and you thought, why did I talk myself out of that one? If they
don't talk
it up, that ain't our fault.
Don't overthink it. And yesterday was a perfect example. You got
exactly
at home as an underdog, Barry. That's one of those games that we call they're begging you. They are begging you to take Louisville plus the 2.5 last night. Don't fall for that trap.
North Carolina, number 18 in the country. Louisville, number 24. It's in Chapel Hill.
Really?
And yet, we look at it, and John was talking about Louisville was favored in the Dean Dome.
They were
by 3.5. And if it was me, and of course I've never been on it, I'd have thought, oh, they must know something. They must know something. The Notre Dame, the North Carolina Star girlfriend must have broken up. I'd have backed off of that game, and then I'd be kicking myself today.
I want to do that. Well, North Carolina, Barry, led by 1 at half, outscored Louisville by 2 in the second half to win by 3. And
won
they
it
were
outright.
catching 2.5. Look at that.
Seth Trimble scores
outright.
30, and North Carolina wins it, and there's a lot of people thinking, well, that's the wise guys screwed that up. That's on them. You can take advantage of them just like they try to take advantage of you. That one made no sense, but it makes sense whenever you can cash in the ticket.
You got that right. And I get it. I know there's a lot of people there on the River Region chat line that have been just chomping at the bit to send in some little snarky comment about the Phantom. You just haven't been able to do it lately.
No. We feel your pain because I've been trying to do that too, but all this winning, man, has shut my mouth.
Yeah, so another winning ticket last night with North Carolina winning the game outright is a 2.5-point underdog. So let's look at today. Barry, we're going to look at a game in the Southeastern Conference. It's an 8:00 tip.
SEC tonight, 8:00. It's either Tennessee, Missouri, or it's Auburn, Oklahoma.
And, I got to go ahead and tell you, well, this is basically the case every night. I'm not going to be able to watch a lot of this game.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't watch 1 minute of the North Carolina-Louisville game. I came on this morning and checked the score and went, there you go. I was North
here.
Carolina.
I was connected to him, and John says, I see you, North Carolina. Where you go, Tar Heels?
There we go. Because it's the State of the Union tonight, Barry. So I've always interested in listening to that. And I think the hockey teams are going to be featured tonight.
The men's hockey team is going to be there. The women's hockey team respectfully declined.
Yeah.
Citing,
what does that tell you? Good. Don't want them there anyway. They got a problem with it.
Trump may have been a little bit disrespectful to them in his conversation with the men's hockey team. But I don't think it had anything to do with it. Anyway, so
hockey for the men's team. Said he wanted to shake that guy's hand. All right. So tonight, Barry, we are going to Columbia, Missouri, where the 18-9 Missouri Tigers, 8-6 in the league,
playing at home,
are hosting the 20-7 overall, 10-4 in the league, Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee, Barry, is a 4.5-point favorite on the road tonight. But let's look a little deeper here. And it is true. Tennessee has won 4 in a row. Mississippi State, LSU, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt.
Ooh, Vanderbilt's good. The rest of those, the dance of the living dead.
They just played their in-state rival, which they won
Saturday
on the road, and they have the quick turnaround on the road again against Missouri tonight. Quick turnaround. Played Saturday, playing again tonight, both on the road. Played on the road Saturday, playing on the road tonight. And then, oh, by the way, look who's on the schedule next. Yeah.
The fabled Crimson Tide of Alabama in Knoxville on Saturday.
Look at that.
You know, I mean, you can eat a ham and cheese, you can eat a Reuben, but you're not going to have a better sandwich than what you may have tonight in Columbia,
That's
Missouri.
true. So Missouri is coming off a road loss to Arkansas, high-scoring affair, which they lost by 8 on Saturday in Fayetteville. So they're coming home to Como tonight as a 4.5-point underdog, and we're taking them. We are taking Missouri to keep it under the number tonight. Might not win the game, no big deal. But we're catching 4.5 here, which we like because we like how things are kind of setting up here for Missouri, catching Tennessee on a short week, second road game. They're kind of feeling high on themselves, and they got Alabama coming up next. That smells like a cover to me for the Missouri Tigers.
There you go. The number again, 2.5?
4.5.
I'm sorry, 4.5. Okay.
And speaking of Missouri, Barry.
Yes.
I believe they are our starting 5 team of the day.
We've got the Missouri Tigers, who, of course, last year had the SEC's leading rusher in Ahmad Hardy. He is back. They were 8-5.
Is that the kid that played at Troy?
No, that's the kid that played at ULM, Louisiana Monroe, and ran for about $120 against Troy as a freshman.
But then he played Alabama and had 18 yards or something. But
he still led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
Missouri last year was 8-5. They started out 5-0, and you can do the math the rest of the way. They lost 4 of their last 6.
Yeah, they did. And Missouri, they got to play. They play 7 games before an off week? Wow.
Well, that's rough. That's tough for them. And for the first time on our starting 5, we look at the upcoming schedule at the first 5 games of 2026. And John's talking about wine. Well, one of those games is against the Troy Trojans. Check it out.
Yeah, it's week 3. Yeah, that's their second home game. They'll open up against Arkansas Pine Bluff, which I guess they're in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I guess. I don't know much else about them.
Nice.
Yeah.
John's deductive reasoning. Very well done. Yes.
What conference are they in?
I want to say the SWAC. I mean, they're an HBCU, the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I think they're in the SWAC, but I hope I don't hurt any feelings. But whatever league they're in, they're not very good.
And then they renewed their rivalry with Kansas, an old Big 8 rivalry, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're in Lawrence.
Yeah.
Then Troy comes to town in week 3, very sandwiched in between 2 road games. So maybe. Yeah. I don't know if that plays well for Troy that Missouri's coming back home.
Get a shot of me here, Gurn. Get a shot of me here.
I don't know about that.
Throw a shot of me on here, Gurn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. He's got. So he's got the. Look at that, the Troy wine. Awesome.
This is Cabernet Sauvignon.
How about that? Awesome.
So the Troy Trojans come in week 3 to Columbia, where they have played before.
Yep.
And still haven't won, but they've beaten Missouri before.
Yep.
Between the Kansas game and the Mississippi State game.
And both, the Kansas and Mississippi State games are both on the road. Can anybody tell me a huge difference between Lawrence, Kansas, and Starkville, Mississippi?
I have been to Kansas, but I've never been to Lawrence. There's probably not much of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so either.
So the first 5, Arkansas Pine Bluff, at Kansas, Troy in Columbia in week 3, at Mississippi State, And then they closed their opening 5 with a homecoming game against John Sumrall and the Florida Gators.
You know, Barry, as I look at the first 5 here, I can see 3-2 and 2-3.
I can see 2 and 3.
I'm kind of going back and forth. I mean, I can see them beating Pine Bluff. I gotta learn more about Troy. I don't know enough about them right now. I got to get my operatives in the field to give me some nuggets on Troy after spring football and into the summer. Certainly, Troy can beat a team like Missouri. We've seen them beat teams that are Power 5 before. Or is it Group of 4? I get them mixed up. But, you know, at Mississippi State could go either way, too. I don't know. This one's kind of got me confused because I can't really get a good feel either 3-2 or 2-3.
Part of it is I got them 2-3. They're not beating Troy and they're not beating Florida. They'll win at Kansas. They'll beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. They'll beat Mississippi State. But they ain't beating Troy.
So they're going to lose 2 games at home?
Yes.
Ah.
See, that's the thing. I've called football there. I've called basketball there. Missouri, this is why John can't get a good feel on them. And really part of the reason why I can't get a good feel on them. Everybody kind of forgets that Missouri's in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guilty of that? You remember the year they had the SEC basketball tournament in St. Louis, and even the people in Missouri didn't care that it was the SEC basketball. You look at it and you think, oh, man, the SEC, golly, they've got Georgia, they've got Alabama, they've got Auburn, they've got Florida, they've got LSU. And then, who am I forgetting?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Yeah, I keep forgetting Missouri.
Yeah.
I never kept, like, I know their quarterback is Austin Simmons, who was at Mississippi. I know I like Eli Drinkwitz and all that, but you're looking at Missouri and you're thinking, all right, what about the Missouri home field advantage? And you're thinking, I've been to Missouri. And you're thinking, what about the home field advantage at Missouri? What's it like? Anybody look around and say, man, I'm telling you, whoo, you do not want to play Missouri at Missouri. Woo.
Yeah, so
it's hard to read them because everybody kind of forgets that they're there.
So people do forget Missouri went to back-to-back SEC football championship games. The East Division champion.
Back when, back when the East was down, obviously.
Yeah. Has Ole Miss been to an SEC championship game?
They have not.
Kentucky, Vanderbilt, A&M.
Missouri's been to 2.
Huh. Heck, Mississippi State's been to the championship game.
Look it
Arkansas,
up.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina took it on the chin against Cam and the Auburn Tigers in 2010. So there you go.
Yeah,
I've
even
got
Auburn's
them
been to the championship game.
I've got them going 2-3. But heck, I don't know. John's still working on that.
That's why here it is. We're late February going through the starting 5. Things can certainly change between now and when we officially give our predictions for the upcoming season, which is usually after media days during August before we get going. So that's when the official predictions will be made. Unlike the Memorial Day predictions that are made and we recap them 12 months later. I got to dig those up. I hide them in a safe. So I got to make sure we're ready for Memorial Day for those predictions to see how those played out. But this is just the starting 5 of what we're doing right now.
All right, here comes the text. Mississippi State did play in the SEC championship game. They did.
I can't tell you who they played against, though.
I can. It was Tennessee, and it was in 1998.
Okay.
And it wasn't a bad game. I mean, they lost by 10. But that's been it.
Is Jackie Sherrill the coach?
33 years. I want to say he was.
Yeah. Barry, besides Jackie Sherrill, Sylvester Croom, and
Mike Leach. Oh, please no tongue ball. Yeah.
Why can't I think of the guy that's at UNLV?
Oh, Dan Mullen.
Who else is coached over there? I know there's got to be somebody I'm missing.
Emery Ballard? Hello?
Well, I'm talking about after Jackie Sherrill.
Heck, that guy Joe Moorhead coached there.
That was a terrible
the guy who was only there for 1 year after Leach passed. Oh, he's like the decoy. I can't remember his name. But he was there for 1 year.
Yeah.
And they realized that was not a guy. And then, of course, I like the guy, Jeff Levy, right now, but anyway.
Isn't it amazing how you can, isn't it amazing how you can forget about coaches at Mississippi State? Barry, I'm looking at him. Who was the coach at Missouri that took him to the championship games?
Oh, Gary Pinkel.
Gary Pinkel.
Gary Pinkel,
see the
great
guy,
coach.
couldn't think
Loved.
of it. You talking about
that
a guy that just rode off into the sunset and said, I'm out of here. I'm out of coaching. I've done it. And I think he might have had some health issues, but he retired.
He
doing
did.
it. Yeah. So he kind of moved on. But Gary Pinkel, I forgot about him.
Help me with the name of the guy who was at Mississippi State for 1 year after Leach passed away. Well, yeah. When we come back,
I don't know about the
it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Correct.
On the Tuesday show, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Yep, the more you visit Victoryland, the better your chances of winning the big BMW 25K giveaway. It's this weekend, but you still have time. Head on out there. The more you visit, the better your chances of winning. There's going to be some happy folks there this weekend at Victoryland. It could be you.
Yep. Here we go. We all know about the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. 6 topics. Gurn comes up with them, researches them, puts them together, and comes up with the tag names. John and I got no clue.
No clue. Have no idea. We're seeing them for the first time, just as you are.
Like old men right there. I don't know who he's talking about. Who could it be? So it's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Filleted it. Laid it. Oh yeah, Lindsey Vaughn. She was skiing at the Olympics with a torn ACL, had a terrible crash, and basically, I've seen the X-ray of her leg after the surgery.
Yep.
It was crushed.
Ooh.
It must have been in 20 different pieces. There were screws, there were wing nuts, She almost had to have her leg amputated due to compartment syndrome. It had swelled so badly that it increases the blood pressure.
Yeah.
And the muscles swell and it restricts blood flow. It's kind of like what happened with Bo when he had his hip replaced. He cut open, back to it, Gurn. He cut open her leg.
Yep.
And basically filleted it open. So a fasciotomy where he just cut open the legs to let the pressure dissipate.
Yeah. To let it breathe. You know, Barry, kind of like a fine wine. You've got to open it up and let it breathe.
Yeah, except this is gross. Dr. Tom Hackett, she almost lost her leg because it was a nasty fall. Glad she's
okay. Better.
I mean, I broke my leg badly whenever I was at the University of Florida. It's one of the reasons why I had to leave, and I'm telling you, I don't wish that on anybody.
Barry, you don't hobble or limp or anything. That doctor did a good job on your leg.
I've run thousands of miles on it and everything. Hopefully Lindsay will be back to a full life. There we go. All right.
What else we got here? We got 5 to go, 1 down. Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic will Victoryland open 24/7, 365 old men.
What has this got to be about? I know who it isn't about.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Look forward to this. Oh, how about this? Yeah.
What could this be? Oh.
Now, it's got to go at least 3-4 rounds. I don't want these guys to get out there. It's over in 30 seconds.
Oh, Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Basically, those old guys need the money.
Sure.
And
I think Floyd is, how should I put it? Been very loose with his money.
He has not been a good steward of the blessings that have been showered upon him financially.
Yeah.
Pacquiao, he's already come out of retirement. It was a little bit less than a year ago. Mario Barrios, an exhibition versus Ruslan Prokhornikov in Vegas. These old guys just need the money. Take care of your money, kids. So later on, you don't have to be like Mike Tyson and stand there for whatever it was, 10 rounds, felt like 30 rounds against Jake Paul just to get a payday.
It's like these bands from the 80s, Barry. That's why they're still out touring. They need the money.
Yeah.
They didn't make any money off record sales. The record companies did. They got to go out and tour to make some money.
Yeah, it's the way it is in country music for sure. That's where your money comes from.
Hey, as a matter of fact, Barry, Journey starting their Final Frontier tour this weekend in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Final doesn't mean anything. If they need it again, you're going to see their billboard on I-10 near Biloxi.
They ain't got that desperate yet. They're not playing casinos yet. They're still playing arenas.
Yeah.
Allegedly. All right, let's see what else we got. 4 to go.
That could also apply to sad retirement because
it could.
Those guys are not making any money on signing cars. Back on
top.
Now, this has a question mark at the end. Gurn did that on purpose.
He did.
Oh, yeah. Back on top. Duke is back to number 1. They had a very impressive win against Michigan. We talked about that coming up, how big that was. Duke, number 1, the latest AP men's poll. It is their 148th week as the nation's top-ranked teams. 148 times Duke has been ranked number 1 in the country. Not this year, not 148 in a row, but nobody has been ranked number 1 in the AP poll more than the Duke Blue Devils.
I wonder who's done that in football.
I would have to say Alabama. I mean, those Saban years. What, he went like 6 years before he was even a dog in a game.
Coach Bryant era? Well, I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought that might be
I do. Everybody else does too. As a matter of fact, when it flashed up that's what it was, and I had that stat in front of me, 148, I knew it was only a matter of seconds before that was brought up as an open question.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Well, I got 3 more to go here. Blue, red, yellow on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Not your car. Is that like, dude, where's my car?
Dude, that's not your car, man. Dude, where my car? How it missed out on the Oscars with Sean William Scott and with Ashton Kutcher.
Sure.
All right, let's see. What is that? Neighbor's property. This is
Yeah.
next door.
Is that a bear?
Oh, it's another bear. Gurn likes
yeah,
bear movies.
Yeah.
The bear says, "Hey, man, I'm smelling something in there. What do you got?"
Man, like
Smells
a box of Popeye's chicken or something.
Yeah,
Look
or
at the bear. Look at him. Oh, he's scratching that paint job.
Or a
Is he,
joint or
is he
something.
going former Alabama football player going in through the sunroof?
No, he made it. Uh-oh. There's a bear in my
the
car.
window was open. Looks.
Well, that's your fault. I mean,
is that Popeye's bag?
Yeah, that's Popeye's.
Yep.
You can't blame it.
Come on.
You know, you leave your window open and pop,
Can't
and you
do
have your
that.
neighbor over there. John, that's put on. They did that on. I mean, they set that up. They set
bear-
that bear up because
That lady's got some problems because you've seen a bear claw. Those things are sharp.
Ain't no
Scratch
doubt.
the paint job, and you got to know those leather seats are cut up.
Yeah.
Not a
Depends
good
on.
move.
Yeah, that's not the thing to do. But they did that. They got, hey, okay, Agnes, you sit over there with your phone and be ready because I'm going to open up my window of my car and I'm going to put a Popeyes bag. I know people who can't resist a Popeyes bag.
Oh, I'm
And, we're going to see if that bear comes over. And if he does, we're going to see if we can get it, and we're going to get on social media and get tons of likes and all that stuff.
You think it was
that bear is
spicy
a
or
victim
regular?
of circumstance.
I don't think a bear really cares.
I wish it would. Well, he might care afterwards. I wish
Yeah.
it would kind of stay with the bear because if it's spicy, I've seen videos before of like raccoons.
Yeah.
People will put nuts out or bird seed out for the raccoons, but they'll douse it with Uncle Keith's red sauce or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And that raccoon will take a big bite, and then and they'll have the little camera going, and that raccoon will be like, "Wow, no, terrible."
Is that kind of like throwing Alka-Seltzers up at seagulls and watching them eat them?
Not good. Not good. That's very okay. Yeah, Gurn. Good call. Let's go back to the wheel there.
Wow, we got an
Alka-Seltzer.
extra one. I thought we had 3. Now we've added one. I love
We
it.
got time. We got time.
Sweet. Man, look at this. Got a bonus one today.
Is this calculated risk?
I've used that before. Is this is a calculated risk? Let's take
George Pickens.
George Pickens.
Yep, he is he's out of Phoenix City, Alabama.
Yeah. Like George
For the
Zook.
Cowboys, they have now look at this. The Cowboys plan to use the collectively bargained device that gives each team the power to keep one free agent per year from becoming a free agent.
Okay. All right.
Are you telling me there's not somebody else on the Cowboys roster that they are dead set on keeping? There's not another player on that Cowboys roster that they want to keep more than they want to keep George
Does
Pickens.
seem a little strange, Barry. You
Oh,
would think there'd
there
be
we
one.
go. There we go. Gurn points out it's different for a quarterback. Dak Prescott knew he needed to be fully invested in order to keep his value high. So Prescott, he already signed a multi-year deal, so he's not going to become a free agent.
Well, good.
Prescott is the cornerstone of that.
Dak still with the Cowboys. That translates into no playoff appearance again. But I'm sure they'll be on Monday Night Football about 3 or 4 times.
There's another way he can show up, take his $28 million and hold out, not practicing or playing, doing a chronic issue from years of playing football. That's what Micah Parsons did last year, and it worked. Yeah. Parsons, he forced a trade because he was not going to play. Huh. That's interesting.
Cowboys.
All right.
Chaos. All right, 2 more to go. Red and blue on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Brought to you by our good friends at Victoryland, where you can be a winner too. Sad retirement. Huh.
Oh, yeah. Now, this guy, it's sad because he was good.
Yep.
It's sad because he had a great career. Bradley Bozeman, former Alabama player.
Yeah.
Roanoke native. I'd forgotten about that.
Sure. East Alabama,
Now,
north of Auburn.
That guy, I mean, you won't hear much about him. He won't be on a Crimson Cruise. He won't be, like on the NFL All-Century team or anything like that.
Okay.
But my God, that's a good career, John.
Yeah. How long was he in the league?
8 years.
Wow. long enough.
He
Good
won
stuff.
a national championship in college.
Mhm.
He played. He was a starter. He was just a really you don't hear enough about guys like that who play in the league, make a bunch of money, and get to leave on their own terms. I say that's not a sad retirement. I'm
Sure.
proud of that guy.
Good for you. Good stuff there, Bradley. Love it. All right, one more to go. Got to spin it to make it official here on the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel. And it's going to be big bucks. Big bucks. No whammies.
Scotty Scheffler. All right, how much? All right, before we scroll down, Scheffler, his top 10 streak continues. He's been in the top 10 for a jillion times in his last whatever. How much money you think? 80 million?
Okay, let's go with it.
80 million. I'll say 80 million in that. Scotty Scheffler. No, too fast. It's 18 straight events in the top 10. No, he's made 28 million. I'm way off. He is way off.
Well,
He's made 28 million
That's still
in the
not
last
bad.
18 events,
Pretty nice.
which averages out to $1.6 million per tournament.
Whew, I'll take it. I'm in. Love it.
Not bad for playing golf for 18 rounds. I mean, not 18.
Not
rounds,
bad
but
at all, Barry. That's pretty impressive.
I'd take it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
The last time Scheffler finished outside the top the top 10 forever ago, 18 straight times. That is a record.
That
Okay.
is a record. He is
There you-
amazing. Watch out for him.
There we
at
go.
Augusta National.
So
in
that's
about a month or so.
That's our show for the week.
It is for the day.
Very, very nice. I didn't know that Lewis from Revenge of the Nerds passed away. Robert
What?
Carradine.
No way.
Lewis.
Come on.
Lewis Skolnick. I didn't know. I liked
I
him.
didn't know that either.
Anyway. Okay. Yeah.
Appreciate
Pickens went to Hoover. He didn't go to Central to Phoenix City. So we fact check a little bit as we close the show and thank Travis Ryer on YouTube, Brian Matthews, Auburn Sports.
Hey, Theotis, Josh Harris scheduled to be on with us tomorrow at the bottom of hour number 2. At the bottom of hour number 1, our man CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News. Our team of the day, the starting 5 is the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll look at their first 5 games tomorrow as well. We'll talk about Auburn and Oklahoma tonight in basketball. We'll talk about Alabama and Mississippi State, previewing them. And I don't know, maybe some high points of the State of the Union that catch my ear tonight. I might talk a little bit about that. Who knows?
Okay. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.